Discipline over motivation, the Stoic way. We all love the feeling of motivation, that sudden spark of energy, that rush of inspiration after watching a motivational video, listening to a powerful speech, or reading a life-changing quote. Motivation makes us believe we can do anything. Start a business, write a book, transform our body, and for a few hours, maybe even a few days, we're unstoppable. But here's the problem. Motivation fades. It doesn't last. It's like a sugar rush, powerful at first, but always temporary. And when it disappears, most people stop. They quit the gym. They abandon the business idea. They go back to old habits. That's why the Stoics, over 2,000 years ago, never built their lives around motivation. They knew it was unreliable. Instead, they built their lives around discipline. The difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this today? Discipline says it doesn't matter how I feel. I do it anyway. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is rational. Motivation is about excitement. Discipline is about consistency. And in the long run, discipline always outlasts motivation. Think about it. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, ruled one of the most powerful empires in history. Do you think he woke up every morning feeling motivated? Of course not. In his private journal, which we now know as Meditations, he often wrote to himself like this: "At dawn, when you rise unwillingly, let this thought be present. I am rising to do the work of a human being." Even the most powerful man in the world struggled to get out of bed. But he didn't wait for motivation. He relied on discipline. Why motivation fails? Motivation depends on mood. It's fragile. It changes with the weather, with your sleep, with what other people say to you. Imagine you decide to run every morning. On the first day, you're excited. You buy new running shoes, make a playlist, and post about it online. But the second day, it's raining. The third day, you're tired. The fourth day, nobody cares about your progress anymore. And suddenly, you've stopped. This is the cycle most people live in. High motivation, quick action, fading energy, disappointment. But Stoics avoided this trap. They didn't tie their actions to emotions. They tied them to principles. The Stoic way, discipline through principle. Epictetus, another great Stoic, was once a slave. He had no freedom, no wealth, no comfort. But he said something powerful. No man is free who is not master of himself. For him, freedom didn't come from outside circumstances. It came from discipline. The discipline to control his thoughts, his habits, his actions. The Stoics lived by a simple rule. Do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And this is exactly why their philosophy still resonates today. Modern examples of discipline over motivation. Think of professional athletes. Do you think they always feel motivated to train? Of course not. But discipline keeps them going when motivation disappears. Think of writers. Most successful authors don't write only when they feel inspired. They sit down and write every single day, even on the days when the words come slowly, when nothing feels exciting. Or think of the soldier who wakes up before dawn to train. He doesn't wait for a burst of motivation. He follows his duty. Discipline is what separates amateurs from professionals, dreamers from doers. How to build Stoic discipline. Now the real question, how do we build this kind of discipline in our own lives? The Stoics give us timeless answers. 1. Control what you can. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Stop worrying about things outside your control. Focus only on what you can do today, right now." That clarity removes excuses and gives you direction. 2. Create daily rituals. Discipline is built in the small, repeated actions. Wake up at the same time. Write a journal. Train your body. Read every day. The Stoics believed that character is formed through repetition. Habits shape who you become. 3. Detach from emotion. Don't ask, do I feel like doing this? Ask, is this the right thing to do? Feelings come and go, but principles remain. Anchor yourself to principles, not moods. 4. Practice voluntary hardship. The Stoics often practiced going without comfort. They fasted. They exposed themselves to the cold. They slept on the floor. Why? To train discipline. To remind themselves, I can endure discomfort. I don't need perfect conditions to act. 5. Remember death. Memento mori. Remember you will die. Life is short. And when you remember this truth, procrastination fades. You stop waiting for motivation, and you start acting with urgency. Discipline in action, a daily example. Let's say you want to build the discipline of writing 1 page every day. Day 1, you're excited. Day 2, you're still motivated. Day 3, you're tired. But you remember your principle. I do it whether I feel like it or not.
Day 4, you don't want to write, but you sit down anyway.
After 30 days, you have 30 pages. Not perfect pages, but progress. Motivation might have carried you through 3 days. Discipline carried you through 30. That's the Stoic way. The payoff of discipline. Discipline gives you freedom. The freedom to act without depending on moods. The freedom to trust yourself. When you're disciplined, you don't ask, will I succeed? You ask, did I do the work today? And that simple shift changes everything. Motivation might inspire you, but discipline transforms you. Final words. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for motivation to rule an empire. Epictetus didn't wait for motivation to rise above slavery. Seneca didn't wait for motivation to write wisdom that still guides us today. And you don't need motivation to change your life either. You need discipline. The Stoic discipline to show up every day. To focus on what's in your control. To do the right thing, even when it's the hard thing. So the next time you feel unmotivated, remember this. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. And only discipline will keep you burning when the spark is gone.